Alright you guys, so looks like I hope you're excited for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 starting out on tomorrow on Friday. So looks like it's time to get ready to set up, or well, maybe I'll make sure I'll be able to get ready for this custom race segment on Gran Turismo Sports. So looks like first up I might be able to go with the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray convertible 1969 livery model, the first Call of Duty Black Ops, which is definitely released in 2010. So I might be able to decide to go with a 4-round custom race event. So this is going to be quite very good to see it. Now, well, I kind of think that most of the Call of Duty gamers that are really excited to try out with the Blackout Battle Royale, well, this is going to be quite very good. So first up, I might be able to use the Chevy first, the KTM Expo second. Third is the Chevy Corvette Stingray C7, and then the fourth generation, the Ford F-150 Raptor is definitely quite going on for it. So, well, maybe I might be able to decide to change the variant design, so this will be able to use it in for only just a moment. Okay, let's just get everything ready up and go. Well, I kind of think I also has two of them, but it'll be able to give it a little bit much better for it. Now, looks like it's time to get ready for a custom race. Because 4 cars are free, now let's just get set up on the track. Now, definitely I might be able to go and decide to choose to do the Willow Springs Streets of Willow track. So I'll make sure I'll be able to do with the evening time for it. Just kind of grab the Chevy Corvette and let's get ready to the party. Now, I might be able to go pro, so this will be able to do it quick. Well, maybe this will have to make it better to have 4 laps for it, because this is going to be quite very good to see it. Well, I kind of think that a lot of awesome short videos on Black Ops 4, because this is so hilarious to see it. So it's actually from the Call of Duty channel, because you guys have already watched it, because it was feeling cool like a rock star. Well, I kind of like that awesome hilarious video for it, because that was so cool. But now, looks like I'll be able to get ready to race, because this is going to be quite good. Now, I'll be able to have a little bit of much adjustment horsepower to be able to be increased. Tires will also need to be on soft. Well, looks like maybe this is going to have to get a little bit much better. So let's go and let's race. Just gonna do with the starting grid to be able to be on last place. Because this custom race goes black for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 premiere. So I kind of think that the date release is going to be on October 12th. So looks like we're on the October month for it. Now, looks like this is going to quite giving a little bit much tougher to be facing up with tougher opponents. Okay, looks like Stingray just definitely quite giving a little bit much steeper hard time for it. Third generation could also might need to have some more quite handling improvement for it to go faster for it. Well, actually, I'm always choosing this Corvette Stingray to be able to be perfectly used as a 1960s model type for it, so this is going to be quite very perfectly to be suited for part of the Black Ops series for it. Well, actually, because Blackout Battle Royale is definitely quite very cool, but, well, maybe they always still love to play Fortnite because it was quite very cool and excited for it. Now, looks like this is going to be quite very good to give a little bit much tougher on for it. Just going to pass on the Nissan R33 Skyline. Then just going to go and take a little bit much overtake on the Mazda RX 500. There you go. Looks like this run isn't good enough for it. Only got 2 more laps to go, and then we're entering on the second lap. So, looks like this is definitely quite very good for it. So, maybe most of you Call of Duty gamers have already enjoyed playing Black Ops 1, because this is definitely quite very good, but the campaign was definitely takes place on the Cold War. Well, definitely 1960s was definitely quite very good for the campaign story for it, but also the zombie mode was definitely quite very scary looking for it. Now, looks like this is going to be quite coming up to be a little bit much closer. Just going to make a little bit pass on the F-150 Raptor. Oh man, definitely needs to get a lot more steep turns to be able to handle with. Might be able to have a lot of good horsepower to catch up. This might be able to give a little bit drive fast, and this model always gives a little bit of retro to have the old style with some new tricks. Okay, coming closer in, and looks like KTM Expo was actually quite coming in on the 4th place. Now, looks like time to catch up to the top 3. The BA Vantage is definitely quite very good to go fast for it. Now, it's just going to give the Stingray to be in the top 3. Okay, so looks like it is simple. Just gonna give a little bit much concentration, pass, overtake, and then keep a little bit of well stability control, because this will also might need to have a little bit better to have the TCS1 on. And also, whenever you're gonna feel comfortable to have the brake balance control to be able in case for it. Okay, looks like there you go. BMW M4 is in 2nd place. Because things about to be undone. Well, it's actually sometimes it's also in the numbers for it. Well, I think that in the campaign story numbers, well, I kind of think that this is for the part when Gregory Weaver and Jason Hudson interrogated Dr. Clark before a couple of, well, definitely bad guys definitely want Clark to be taken down for a bit. Well, it was quite getting a little bit much more details for it. Well, I kind of think that I always have to keep playing the first Black Ops game for it. So, definitely it's only on the Xbox 360 and PS3, so it was definitely released since in 2010, but this is definitely one of the most favorite classic hints. So, looks like it's time to get ready to move on into the final lap. That Corvette is really getting a little bit almost done for it. Just kind of to give a little bit much better interior view for it. Well, I kind of think for it, I might be able to have an idea to make an exclusive racing outfit to make a support to the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 when it's released. Well, everybody does have to pre-order it. Now, looks like they should probably have to get it right now, because multiplayer, zombies, and blackout is definitely quite giving a little bit free modes for it. But the others are really sad about that there's no campaign story on it. Well, luckily, just putting on the last video because when I was left off for it. Oh, smooth drifting turn on the last corner. And that's how the 1960 sports car can also to give a little bit much better to race hard in it. So you may also to try out this library to be able to race in sport mode whenever you want, because this is definitely first one of the Call of Duty Black Ops library groups was definitely made for it, but it'll be able to stick with the standard black color with some fine decals on, because this was definitely one of the best sports car in the 1960s. Okay, looks like race 1 is finished. Now, looks like I might be able to get ready to change vehicles. So, looks like it's time to get ready to go with the KTM Expo. Now, I might be able to go and choose a different track. So I might be able to do a little bit of quick loading, and then, well, maybe this is going to be quite giving a little bit surprise for the KTM Expo board. So this is the perfect year model in 2012, before Black Ops 2 was definitely released. So, looks like it's time to get ready to race on over to Red Bull Ring, and this time it's going to be on a full track. Luckily, the Expo is really quite very good for the Austrian sports bike boards. So this time, the future is black for the KTM Expo are to do some more racing performance boards, because this one is definitely quite perfectly matched for a year since this game release. Now, let's get ready to get started for it. So, might be able to have 4 laps, so this will be able to get ready to do a 1-make race. I'll make sure I'll decide to have 1 car to be able to have on in for. Maybe I'll have to be reduced to be able to have 3 laps. Rolling starts is definitely quite giving a little bit much importance, because this will have to take a lot of more inverted precision to get a lot much better to do pro at it. Now, maybe I'll decide to have a one-on-one race. So this is going to be a little bit of a different library match for this event board, because the second round is going to be quite good with the Austrian sports bike board. So, looks like the car number is 2, because this is definitely quite perfectly matched to be ready for it. But what can I say? Modern racing goes in for the most finest Call of Duty library ever. Now, let's get ready to go to race on the Red Bull Ring. So let's get ready to toughen up. But this race can also last on for 3 laps, so let the first place can also to give it a little bit of head start. Now, this will be able to give it a little bit much better updated library to be able to be ready up after this. But it is definitely quite getting a little bit nearly completion for it. So let's just kind of give it a try. Okay, so definitely a good different style of the interior was definitely painted in orange for it, and the other body part is definitely now covered in black for it, like the fenders on it. That will be able to see it. Non-carbon fiber. That will be very good to have the gray one to be in it. So definitely Black Ops 2 is definitely takes on in the future year 2025. That also gives a little bit of backstory on Woods about that dangerous man who lost his sister, known as Raul Jimenez. Well, Woods doesn't like him, and sometimes he just hates him for trying to torture him for no reason for it. Well, I kind of think that in the campaign mission, Time and Fate, well, he just actually lost his mind that he just wants to kill him for it. But, well, definitely Alex Mason will look after him whenever he lost his mind. But sometimes, well, maybe you just already watched the campaign mission, because Jimenez has gone mad, killing a lot of Nicaragua soldiers during the 1980s wars. Well, I kind of think that you guys have already watched several videos that you saw that Jimenez has gone berserk with Rampage on it. Jeez, this is definitely very brutal to see it for it. But luckily, that part was definitely quite giving a little bit 2 parts on it. But unfortunately, he runs a terrorist organization group somewhat that was definitely made known as Cortesia. Well, definitely Harper says Arte in Latin. Well, kind of think that that's how what the cyber attacks that definitely being confirmed in Los Angeles in the year 2025. Well, maybe the campaign story is very good, but most other COD bands, like Black Ops 2, it has a lot of good classic weapons in the campaign on it. But also the Zombies mode was definitely continuing on after, well, probably the ultimate character version of Edward Richtofen was becomes the dramatic announcer. Well, before that until Origins, and there was the premise version of Richtofen was definitely the good guy for it. Well, he was continuing on in Black Ops 3 onwards in order to help his fellow friends, and looks like that's how I always have to look forward to have a better tomorrow. Well, I might be able to use the Corvette Stingray until the next one for it. But yes, definitely David Mason was actually also to do a part of the campaign story in the year 2025. But it also has to take some 2-segment campaigns on it. That could be in the past and definitely in the future for it. Now, looks like it's time to get ready to move on to the final lap. In case that this Black Ops 2 livery is definitely quite going a little bit much better and faster to get toughen things up for this Austrian sports bike course. Make sure you guys remember to bring your very own KTM Expo custom livery to race with this livery, because this will drive in black for it. Okay, so it looks like Special Livery just definitely wants to come back in second. Now, looks like it's back in the lead. Because, you know, that livery doesn't like me. But it's definitely singing in a different way for it. Okay, back in the lead for the Black Ops 2 KTM Expo Livery. This will give it much better to get specificated to be in cross for it, so that will be able to get a lot of better speed to catch up for it. One final stretch, and then this is going to be a quite successful victory for only just giving a little bit of test warm-up. Well, definitely just like having a boot camp where only 2 people could do a lot of hard work training session for it. This will be able to give it much better to be usable whenever it's about to be ready for this KTM Expo. Now, looks like this is definitely quite very good. Clean race bonus on prize credits and experience. That will be quite very good to have a little bit finishing done for it. Now, let's go ready to exit out and let's get ready for another round for it. So, it'll be able to decide to get back in on the 20 cars for it, because 2 cars are definitely quite giving a job well done for this training. Now, let's get ready to move on into Blue Moon Bay Speedway Infield Course A. So, looks like I might be able to decide to go back and choose a different Corvette. So, looks like moving on over to have this Stingray in the Black Ops 3 livery style version. Well, I kind of think I set up this livery style for it, but eventually, hang on, I might be able to give a little bit of quick look, but it takes minutes to be loading up for it. Now, looks like this is the Black Ops 3 livery design on the Corvette Stingray. So, perfect design year on the 2014, because this is very perfect for the C7 Stingray for it. Number 3 is definitely quite giving a little bit very sure a bit. So, that's the 3rd Black Ops livery with the number 3 on it. So this is going to be quite very special exclusive look on it. Now, looks like this will be able to have a number of laps will be able to go on for. this will be able to give it much better to have this supercar to be kick it up a notch for it. Now, let's just, before we get starting in for it. So after the events on Call of Duty Black Ops 2, if Raul Jimenez is alive or dead, depends on the endings, of course. So definitely the player was actually steps in the main role of the part, was part of the group called the Winslow Accord Black Ops Division. Well, I kind of think that it doesn't give a name on it because he was quite giving a little bit of better, so maybe they call it the new guy for it. It also depends to see which gender it's going to be, male or female. Well, anybody's depends. Now, looks like it's time to get ready to race on Blue Moon Day. This is going to be quite good. Now, looks like it's time for Black Ops Livery tryout race number 3 to be able to be tested out for it. This will also to get continuing on for it. Yeah, Black Ops 3 campaign also got a lot of good cutscenes on it because this is definitely quite very cool and very enhanced during the gameplay for it. But you know, it also to be customized any character you want with any kinds of armor style for it. And you know what's the most dangerous bad guy in Black Ops 3? Well, a dangerous AI known as Corvus. Yeah, this guy, he is one bad dude because he's definitely a corrupted AI. Well, definitely much like Clifford from GTA Online, the Doomsday Heist, that he was definitely created by Avon Hertz. Well, I'll just make sure I'll be able to get back to playing GTA Online. So, well, kind of think it's already uploaded everything from the limited time event from the launch of the After Hours. Okay, well, I kind of think I might be getting a little bit off topic. Now, just continuing on in Black Ops series for it. So I originally made this Corvette C7 Stingray to be very grayish but almost near as black for it. Well, maybe you guys really want this Corvette to be black. Well, definitely the painted black music was definitely quite very good for it. So it would definitely take place after the Second Cold War, and looks like the Cold War was definitely takes place in a Black Ops timeline in the year 2070. So that's how the company was known as the Coalescence Corporation, was definitely quite getting a very futuristic company for it. Well, definitely the direct neural interface was definitely, whenever it depends on some kind of a simulation virtual reality mode for it. So I kind of think the first mission in Black Ops 3 was definitely quite very brutal to the player. Can't believe it that even his arms and legs was been brutality beaten up by an NRC robot. And luckily somehow, John Taylor and his team come to save him. And I hope that he's gonna be alright. But definitely, he'll still be breathing that he's been definitely damaged. But somehow, they're giving him some biometric mechanical arms and legs that will make him as a super soldier. Well, kind of think a cyber ops soldier, that would be what they call it for it. Well, looks like this is definitely having a long story for this third part of the Black Ops series for it. So also in the multiplayer, it also includes with some specialist characters whenever you want to choose with. So that might be very brand new like the other Call of Duty games on the multiplayer. Well, I kind of think that this is going to be having a lot of good stuff for the franchise on it. But also the Nightmares mode was definitely also included with the zombies, like from Zombies mode. Well, I kind of think that this is definitely quite giving a little bit of campaign story differences on it. Okay, looks like almost there. Just gonna make one pass on the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Let's relaunch the throttle and then let's kick it up and in. But what can I tell you guys? This Stingray drives black in an awesome effect. So it can also be customizable to be able to tune up with any fast performance when you're using that Corvette Stingray. Generation 7 in the year 2014 in the same game release, because no matter how it takes to have that Stingray to be able to race hard, short orange wing part is definitely quite very good for the orange. So that might be very cool to be able to drive kick hard. But also, this might need to provide a little bit of stability handling whenever you really want to go with a TCS0 to go pro at it. Taking a little bit much better step onto this hairpin. Just gonna keep the radar on track. So I kind of think Specialists in multiplayer in Black Ops 3 is definitely quite very cool to choose your character. That might be quite very good to see it, but it also to be character customizable whenever you want to pick with. Okay, final stretch, and then let's hit the checker flag. Wonderful win for the Corvette Stingray Black Ops 3 edition, because this will be able to get ready to race hard for this N500 supercar for it. But if I were you, you should probably have to use this library, because I'll be able to get ready to set it up for you. Now, looks like this is going to be quite very good. First place earnings is definitely quite coming nearly there, because I hope this is going to be quite very much better for it. Now, looks like it's time to get ready to get off the tarmac. Now, let's get ready to hit the dirt on the Fisherman's Branch. So, looks like it's time to say hello to the big friend that I'm about to be ready to go for this rally race. The Ford F-150 Raptor 2011 Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yep, looks like this is going to be the big premiere coming in on the 12th of October, because you guys have already known that this is going to be the special exclusive library on Gran Turismo Sport. Now, looks like the number 4 for the F-150 Raptor is going to get a little bit much challenging tough moment for it. So I might be able to decide to go with 2 laps, and this will have to get set up for it. Now, this will be able to go with the Group B category, so I guess this is going to be the Audi Sport S1 Pikes Peak Edition, because this is going to have to get a lot of pretty much toughened up for it. So this will have to race hard like a soldier for this pickup truck, because this is going to have to take one last final training course, you guys. This Raptor is going to be the one tough racing machine to race hard against that classic rally car for it. So before that, just got everything maxed out on the semi-precision for it. So looks like I might be able to have a little bit of upgrade for the power level. Now I might be able to stick on to the N500 category, so this will be able to leave it in, because the regulations will also to be very respectful. Now, let's begin for the final course of this race. So this will be able to be ready to wrap it up. So, before that, everybody have already played Black Ops 4, because, well, the beta was definitely quite very good to see how tested on these players are. And also the blackout mode, this is going to be quite very big battle royale that you can also play as any other for Call of Duty characters from the Black Ops series. Well, I kind of think this is going to be one pretty awesome for it. Well, in case if it's definitely already begun until now, well, looks like the multiplayer experience is definitely quite giving a little bit much more basic training on the multiplayer specialist. But you know, this is going to be quite getting a little bit of basic training for it. Now, let's get ready to take on to the TCS-0, and then let's put the gloves up, and then let's race it hard. Okay, one better jump to be able to close it in, but not good enough. That Audi is just definitely quite getting a little bit first place for it, because this Quattro S1 Pikes Peak is definitely the king of all rally cars. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a little bit of pace warm-up section for it, because this is going to have to take a lot more runs to catch up. Okay, here comes the tough straight. Better have to watch out for some obstacles without hitting it. If it does hitting it, that will completely fail the attempted skill set on it for any driving techniques on the dirt. Well, looks like this Audi doesn't want it to be in second place, so looks like this will give a much better chance to have this F-150 Raptor to be in first place to become the king of all rally cars for it. Now, here comes the best jump that I always like. Hoorah! That is so epic jump. That was very impressive for it. Now, looks like it's time to get ready to take the lead and then take some few specific turns on it. Well, maybe most other GT players who also play Call of Duty, because this library is definitely the key whenever you get the game for it. Alright, time to go downhill and then take on back onto the starting line, and it looks like this is going to be quite good for the final lap. Okay, one last turn until let's begin. For only one final warm-up section. Alright, so looks like the F-150 Raptor just definitely made its fast improvement time. That will be able to race around quickly, better than the lightweight rally cars for it. Well, definitely Group B rally cars can also race for it. It also depends to give it a little bit of share flow with the F-150 Raptor to give it a little bit much better. Well, I kind of think that Blackout Battle Royale is definitely quite very cool. So definitely much like Fortnite. So, well, kind of think Fortnite I just always play for it, because it is definitely quite giving a little bit collect supplies for it. And for this Blackout, you can also choose any character whenever you'd like to pick. Build up an arsenal and find some better vehicles whenever you want to go with. Only on land, sea, or air. Well, everybody knows that they wanted to go and decide to pick. That might be quite very good for this mode for it. Okay, looks like it's time to get ready to do a little bit slide downhill. Just take some few specific turns, might be able to coming on for it. Okay, there you go. just gonna take a lot more drills to do some more runs on it. Okay, time to go back on the toughest straight. But I don't want to get any damage hit on it because that could be a bad risk for any obstacles. Just take some slight turns if you needed to, because I'm just gonna have to take a little bit of steering wheel handling by example. Okay, so the S1 Quattro is definitely quite coming in very closer. Now this will have to give a little bit much coming up to give a little bit much upper turns to be climbed up. Okay, here it goes. Oh, second there, that could be a little bit of total flip out. That could also completely cause a collision effect on it. Okay, looks like we're almost there to finishing up the daily workout, you guys. Because this is all about taking some training to get started. Well, maybe I might be able to do a lot more racing, but, well, looks like this is going to be quite very good that you guys are really excited for the game. Okay, final stretch, and then let's get going on the checker flag for the Black Ops 4 library for the F-150 Raptor. So, looks like pretty good for taking in the off-road track for it. Just like before you're about to get ready to use the ATP in Blackout Battle Royale. Well, I kind of think that this is going to be quite very good to be excited for it. Alright, so looks like this is definitely quite very good for the big earnings to be largely. Now, looks like daily workout complete. Training complete, and looks like a job well done. So, I might be able to decide to save this replay until the next part, so I'll make sure that I'll just have to have another video with the replay part on it. So, looks like usual cars coming in on the daily workout, and let's see what's gonna be. Okay, looks like another KTM Expo R. Well, maybe this will also to be added into the garage. Now, let's just get ready to buy something on the mileage exchange until it'll be able to get ready to wrap this up. So, looks like orange number 2 on the mate. And the liquid metallic will also to be right in it till right now. Well, 4 cars with Call of Duty Black Ops library, and this is going to be quite very good to have 4 rounds to be able to get ready to race. But you know, I did my great fun time for it because we also enjoying to create some good libraries to support the Call of Duty franchise for it, so maybe a special fan art might be very good to see it. Well, this is going to be quite very perfectly for the F-150 Raptor for it. So, in case that it's already been submitted on Deep Into Art, in case if you want to see it for it. Now, actually, different timelines for the Black Ops series came from the World at War until now. So, looks like this is definitely part of the 5 series for the Black Ops series for it. Well, definitely, World at War is definitely the first one, including with zombies in it. So, that might be, I just definitely made 4 library designs mark Call of Duty all over it, because this is definitely quite giving a little bit of fan art support to the game. So that might be quite giving a little bit better to have some motivation on it. Okay folks, glad that you're enjoying this race, and I hope you like these cool Black Ops library. Thanks for watching. So before at the end of this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and also the links on the description down below if you want to see more. So, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys next time to continuing on for some more race on Gran Turismo Sport. And have a good day, you guys. Keep on racing, stay cool, and don't forget, Call of Duty gamers, Black Ops 4 is gonna be available right about now. So, good luck, and do your best.